What if I told you that effing up isn't just okay, it's actually good for you? Some of the most successful people in history failed hard before they ever made it big. But instead of letting failure break them, they used it to grow stronger, smarter and unstoppable. In this video, we're diving into why failing might be the best thing that ever happens to you and how you can use it to your advantage. So let's get into it. Today, we're diving into a topic that might sound a little bit surprising, but trust me, it's definitely worth discussing. We're going to explore the idea of failure, effing up, and why, believe it or not, experiencing setbacks can actually be a positive thing. So get comfortable and let's unpack this together. Now, most of us have been taught from a young age to strive for success, to hit our targets and achieve our goals. And while there's nothing wrong with that at all, we often overlook the other side of the coin, failure, effing up. It's a word that tends to make us feel uneasy, doesn't it? When we think about failing, we often envision embarrassment, disappointment, or even sometimes shame. But here's the twist. Failing can actually be one of the best teachers out there. And just remember this one. The acronym for FAIL is First Attempt in Learning. So first off, let's consider the nature of failure. It's an inevitable part of life. Each of us will face setbacks at some point or another. Whether it be in our careers, our relationships, or even with personal aspirations. When we encounter failure, instead of treating it as a dead end, we can view it as a stepping stone on the path to growth and development. For example, when I was in my teenage years and throughout a lot of my 20s, I was a completely different person and I led a completely different lifestyle. I was, let's say, lost. I used to love going clubbing at the weekends, and at the time, I loved it. Well, let's say parts of it. However, part of that social scene involved taking drugs recreationally. Mostly at the weekends it was, which involved me taking drugs such as cannabis, alcohol, ecstasy pills, MDMA, amphetamines, also known as speed, cocaine and ketamine. These weren't all taken at the same time, of course, and I never did any of the, let's say, harder drugs such as heroin, crack or crystal meth. But I was effing up. I was failing. Even though, to be honest, I had some great experiences, don't get me wrong, when I was younger, and I did enjoy myself, it still wasn't healthy at all or good for me. Just imagine massive highs, you're feeling on top of the world, followed by huge come downs where I could barely function. It felt absolutely horrible, trust me. But during these times, I could barely hold down a job. My energy was all over the place and I couldn't maintain healthy relationships at all. And like I said before, I was truly lost and deeply insecure. So in essence, I was effing up big time. But deep down, I was trying to do better, but I wanted to be better, but I just didn't know how to do it properly. For instance, I would beat myself up after a heavy weekend of drug taking. I would then tell myself, no, Brad, never again. I've got to stop doing this. I would then maybe quit the drugs for 1 week or two at best, then go straight back into it, like a moth to a flame, as they say. This happens so many times, trust me. I was failing at quitting, basically. I was effing up. This continued like this on and off for years, basically. Even though I was failing with this on drugs, then off drugs process, I slowly began extending the time off the drugs. So 1 week off turned into 3 weeks off. Then it turned off to months off, several months off at a time. And now it's been many, many years. Was it easier? Was it easy? F no. Did it take a long ass time? Absolutely. Did I fail to quit properly many times? Of course I did. However, I did get there eventually thanks to trying and failing. I built up my resilience and I succeeded eventually. Comment below if you want me to talk more about these experiences, by the way. There's much more to be said about it, all of what I've just said, but that's for another video. So anyways, as I've just mentioned, that most of the significant benefits of failing is that it teaches us resilience. Now, resilience is one of those buzzwords that gets thrown around quite a lot. But what does it really mean? Simply put, resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, from effing up. When we face challenges and don't let them keep us down, we build a stronger foundation for future situations. Each time we fail and pick ourselves back up, we're essentially training our brains to handle adversity better. Think of strengthening your willpower like a muscle springs to mind. Let's take a well-known example here. Thomas Edison. The inventor behind the light bulb famously said that he hadn't failed. He'd merely found 10,000 ways that didn't work. That's a brilliant mindset if you think about it. Each failure was a lesson, a chance to improve and refine his approach. With each setback, Edison got closer to finding the solution that would eventually illuminate countless homes. This kind of perspective can transform how we view our own failures. Moreover, when we do fail, we often have to reassess our goals and our strategies. Failure can prompt serious reflection. Things like thinking like, why didn't things turn out as planned? What could we have done differently? This level of introspection can lead to insights that we might never have gained if we had sailed smoothly through life. By examining our failures critically, we can carve out a clearer path going forwards. I am going through this process as we speak, honestly. I've been making YouTube videos on a weekly basis since the 30th of December 2024. As of today, which is the 30th of March 2025, which is the day I've created this video, obviously, I've only got 12 subscribers. My videos they get a few views, but not that many yet, to be honest. It's just the way it is. Could you see that as failure? Of course you could. Am I getting paid for this? No, I'm not at all. But I don't see it as failing. I'm slowly learning by doing this every week, by turning up. Each video I try and get a little bit better, and hopefully I can help people with my life experiences and perspectives. But obviously I'm not perfect at this and I don't know everything, but it's all good. I'm carrying on regardless. And just to say thank you to all my subscribers so far, by the way, it's massively appreciated. So moving on, with that in mind, another fascinating aspect of failure is that it fosters creativity and innovation. Just think about it. When things don't go according to plan, we're often pushed to think outside of the box to find new solutions. In fact, many of the greatest inventions and discoveries have stemmed from a series of failures or unexpected outcomes. So when faced with a challenge, we're encouraged to experiment, try new tactics and adapt. This creative problem solving can lead to breakthroughs that we might have never thought possible if everything had gone smoothly. But let's not forget though the community and support that can sometimes arise from failure as well. When we share our failures with others, it creates a sense of connection potentially, because everyone's experienced hardships and setbacks at some point. And when we talk about our struggles, this can foster better understanding and compassion. It's also a way to remind ourselves that we're not alone in our challenges. And this shared experience can lead to stronger bonds with colleagues, friends and family. Just think a network of support that can help us rise again and after we've stumbled, after we've messed up. So moving on. Now we all have that inner critic in our heads, don't we? You know, the one that pipes up whenever we try something new, whispering doubts about our abilities or reminding us of past failures. Learning to silence that inner critical voice is a journey though, but it is essential for embracing failure as a growth opportunity. When we view setbacks as learning experiences rather than reflections of our own self-worth, we can cultivate a more positive mindset. So instead of being afraid to fail, we can become more excited about the potential lessons and opportunities each failure brings. And let's be real for a moment. When we do shift our perspective on failure, it can take the pressure off. Instead of fearing what others might think, we can focus more on our own personal journey. Embracing failure means giving ourselves permission to take risks and try new things without the weight of perfectionism holding us back. It can encourage us to step out of our comfort zones and explore new horizons. And who knows what amazing possibilities await us when we do. So to summarise, in summary, while failure initially stings and may seem daunting, it offers a treasure trove of opportunities for growth and learning. From building resilience to enhancing creativity, or overcoming setbacks can ultimately lead us to a more profound success. So the next time you find yourself facing a failure, an F-up, remember this. Remember that it's not the end of the road. It's just a bend along the way to becoming the best version of yourself. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. You never know what wonders might be waiting just around the corner. As I'm sure you all know, that life is far from easy, but try and make the best of it. It's easier said than done, I know, but try and make the best of it and keep on moving forwards one step at a time. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you again with more inspiring content. Click on the link if you want to learn about not giving an F what other people think about you. Thank you and goodbye.